African American Heritage Festival. We're gonna see what's all to this. If this really about the heritage of the African American or something else. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see what's to this. It's supposed to be about African American heritage, right? But already they creeping in everybody else and say, no room in our hearts for prejudice. So that means all are welcome here, because we not prejudiced. And then look at this right here. It went from African American heritage to Race Unity Day. Something to that, man. We gonna ask some of these questions out here and how people feel about it's supposed to be about African American heritage and why we can't just make it about us. Why we always gotta group or incorporate other races. Why this gotta be a moniker? If this is about African Americans, why are we even talking about prejudice? Just saying. God damn.
All right, what's going on? Shalom, Lord in Christ. This is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge under Commanding General Yohana. And since 1969, we have been bringing the truth about the scriptures. We've been teaching brotherhood and sisterhood and teaching what it really is to be a Black, Hispanic, or Native American in America. And today's class is called Clout Demons Destroy, and in parentheses, Brothers Build. And I showed a video real quick with Isaiah Ward. We were at the African American Heritage Festival a few days ago. It was like Saturday, and I'd never been. I've been in this area since for 30, 40 years. We've been in this area, me and my family. But what I noticed is that there's a lot going on that has nothing to do with what's going on. So let me go ahead and play that video one more time, and let me see if I can get that video playing again one more time, so as I work, I'll let you know.
African American Heritage Festival. We're gonna see what's all to this. If this really about the heritage of the African American or something else. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see what's to this. It's supposed to be about African American heritage, right? But already they creeping in everybody else and say, no room in our hearts for prejudice. So that means all are welcome here, because we not prejudiced. And then look at this right here. It went from African American heritage to Race Unity Day. Something to that, man. We gonna ask some of these questions out here and how people feel about it's supposed to be about African American heritage and why we can't just make it about us. Why we always gotta group or incorporate other races. Why this gotta be a moniker? If this is about African Americans, why are we even talking about prejudice?
Now, learning what brotherhood and sisterhood is all about. When you're in the ISUPK, you learn that in order for it to be real brotherhood and sisterhood, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans actually have to come together, and we have to be separate from the other nations. But when you go somewhere outside of ISUPK, you'll notice that other people are widely welcome. You'll notice that they make things about the world when African American heritage should have been about African Americans. It should have been about our struggle. It should have been about our triumphs. It should have been about us coming together and having peace. But there were other things that were at play while all of this was happening at this African American Heritage Festival. They had pictures of young white boys and girls and young Chinese boys and girls, and they called it Race Unity Day on the flyers. Well, when we go to an Irish thing, when we go to what's it called, St. Patrick's Day, when everybody is drinking this, that, and the fourth, they don't call it Race Unity Day. They don't call it something to encompass everybody. There were signs all over, and Azal War, did an interview, and it really opens up your eyes to what's going on. All right, young man, if you could get Jeremiah chapter 18 and verse 1, Baba Kashah. Because what we need to realize is, just like the oppressor has done, they've built up everything around them. You got it already? They've built up every single thing around them. But it seems like blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we don't have any foundation to build anything. And the main reason is because we don't have enough brotherhood and sisterhood to recognize that the only way we could take care of each other is through the Lord. But go ahead. We're going to start at verse 1. And let me get there with you real quick. Jeremiah 18 and verse 1. All right, you can go ahead and start.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 18, verse 1. The word which came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, verse 2, arise and go down to the potter's house, and there I will cause thee to hear my words.
Right. So Jeremiah is being told by the Lord to go down to the potter's house so he can actually hear his instructions. What he needs to say to the Israelites, to our forefathers. Continue.
Verse 3. Then I went down to the potter's house, and behold, he wrought a work on the wheels.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 4.
Right.
And the vessel that he made of clay was marred in the hand of the potter.
Right.
So he made it again.
Right.
Vessel.
And hold on. Let's get that definition, because that's not something you would normally be familiar with, right? Marred, right?
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get that real quick. So what do you think marred means?
Like stuck or like on his hand or something?
No, it means damaged or destroyed. Give me 1 second. Salakia, y'all. I'm having a little bit of technical difficulty. Let me go ahead and play something real quick. No, I got the definition.
Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home.
All right, Salakia, y'all. So we back with y'all. Let me know if you hear any problems with the sound. Just having a little bit of issues, some technical difficulties. We're gonna get through it. The water. All right. So Ace, if you could go ahead and start on Ace, Shalom, Lord in Christ. If you could go ahead and start at verse 3, where we or Salakia, verse 4, where we said marred.
You want me to start from the top?
Verse 4.
All right, verse 4. And the vessel that he made of clay was marred in the hand of the potter.
So the vessel that he made, and say it one more time because I had you on mute, Salakia.
Verse 4. And the vessel that he made of clay was marred in the hand of the potter.
So it was marred in the hand of the potter. Focus. Just focus. The vessel that he made was marred. It was damaged. And that's kind of like us right now. We're damaged. And one of the things that I've noticed is that even though blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are damaged in this place, we still are able to come together in a sense and do things like music. Even though there's a sense of contention with our music, we can still come together and bring our talents, basketballs, but we need an actual government and stability like the Lord wants us to be, but we have been absolutely destroyed. Let's continue to read. And somebody can check the stream for me real quick.
So he made it again, another vessel, as seemed good to the potter to make it.
Right. So it was destroyed at first, but then the Lord saw fit to build it again. Continue.
Verse 5. Then the word of the Lord came to me, saying, verse 6, O house of Israel, cannot I do with you as this potter?
Can't the Lord, if you're destroyed, make us better? if we looking at what I have in the background, this shows Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans building together, and this is symbolic of what we need to do for the future. We can't just sit around and, you know, just do everything that the Christians and, you know, the Muslims do. We have to actually occupy and get our people out of a certain way, because right now Christianity and the Muslim religion is the biggest thing on earth, but that's not what we're coming on. We're not under that banner correctly. Continue to read.
I'm gonna do it from the top.
Go ahead, no sweat.
Verse 6. O house of Israel, can I do with you as the potter?
Right.
Saith the Lord. Behold, as the clay is in the potter's hand, so are ye in my hand, O house of Israel.
All right. Verse 7.
At what instant I shall speak concerning a nation,
It's to what?
concerning a kingdom.
Oh, okay. Salaki.
Verse 7. At what instant I shall speak concerning a nation and pull down.
Right. So the Lord can decide what nation that he can pull up or what nation he can pluck and destroy. And as you can see, we've been plucked and destroyed because the potter wasn't happy with the destruction that was in his hand. He wasn't happy with what we've become. And unless we come together under that one banner, under that one body, we're going to continue to be destroyed. Like I said, when I played that video with Isaiah Ward, we went to the African American Heritage Festival, and the brotherly thing to do, if you're a part of that, if you're in charge of that, is to make sure that Blacks are the ones who are number one. But instead, we became second-class citizens because it was Race Unity Day all over these banners that were around. We just had an issue with a young man being unalive by an Asian shop owner, and then there's a Chinese baby's face on these banners that say Race Unity Day, and all of these other things that it was saying. The banners were saying things like one family on the earth, when the Lord said there's many families on the earth, and the one that he chose was us, Israel. It was saying we're one wave in the ocean. When we're the most separate thing away from people when it comes to us being second-class citizens. July 4th is coming up right now. And I talked a little bit about it in my class, but with Black people being oppressed, we should be brotherly enough to realize that our ancestors, forefathers, and foremothers were slaves during the time of the liberation of our oppressors. So why would we celebrate them celebrating being free from so-called tyranny? They wanted to be free from high taxes, so they committed treason. They wanted to be free from being second-class citizens to the British government, so they committed unalivings of people that were supposed to be their brothers in their country. And it's celebrated on July 4th, all while we were slaves. Aren't we brotherly enough to understand that Blacks should raise from all of the different ash that's been poured on us and be something better than second-class citizens and subservient to these holidays that we celebrate that have nothing to do with us, that actually further oppress us and show us that we have a long way to go? I understand if you got an oppressor as a husband or a wife, you already did that. You already did it. But don't go flaunting it at the Juneteenth. Don't go flaunting it at the African American Heritage Festival. Don't do that. You decided that their culture, that their women or their men was more important than yours. You decided that party was better than your own. They were better than how you were raised, your mother, your father. Don't go flaunting it. Go ahead and come to the festival by yourself. Come to the festival by yourself if you have to. But as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, I see that we have a long way to go. But hold on, Salakia, let me see. I wanted you to read up until verse 12. Where are you at right now?
I'm at verse 8.
Verse 8. Let's keep reading.
Okay. I don't know. Verse 8.
I don't know.
He already called me, told me whatever happened.
No sweat. Ace, go ahead, read.
Verse 8. If that nation against whom I have pronounced turn from their evil, I will repent of the evil that I thought to do unto them.
Right. We say this all the time. What did the Lord say? When he said, be holy, right? The Lord told us to be holy. That's the commandment. If we listen to the Lord's words and we be holy and separate, if we listen to Zephaniah 2:1, what's going to happen? Let me hear it again.
He will, from verse 7?
Where you read from? Yeah, I believe. No, I believe you started at verse 8, right? Keep your finger there if you got to.
From the top?
Yes.
If that nation against whom I have pronounced turn from their evil.
If we turn from marrying the daughters and the sons of the oppressor, the Lord will turn away the captivity and the results of our indignation. But we have to come together. Like I'm gonna show y'all a video, but I saw a brother telling people not to support this gas station because a child was unalived or hurt there. One brother didn't want to listen to him, but another brother did. And that's our problem. If an Asian, if a Russian, somebody that knows their culture and their worth, got hurt at somebody else's ethnic group spot, it wouldn't even take much of a word to be like, no, brother, you don't want to go here. They did this to our people. They would shut that spot down. But black people, we so broken. We don't know what actual brotherhood and sisterhood is. All we hear in our songs is, I effed your B. I'll take your B. I'll take your man. You're broke. You don't have money. You live here. I live here. I drive this. That's not something that can literally have us in a position to be better than where we are. Go ahead. You got something to say? You're going to have to speak a little bit loud. Ace, you...
It's so crazy to me because even something like as simple as relationships,
right?
You know, our people don't know how to show love. Like, you know what I mean? You'll find a lot of our relationships in our communities failing because of the way of love that we're taught how to love each other.
Absolutely.
It's like it, sir.
No, absolutely. And that's a heavy point that you bring that out. I wasn't even going to touch on that, but because you brought out a good point, I must. If a sister is doing something wrong in her relationship, she should have sisters around that know the right thing to say to her to get her back on track. If a brother is doing the wrong thing in his relationship, then he should have brothers around to tell him the right thing to do so he can get back on track. I'm not going to let no brother of mine go, around busting his woman upside the head or sleeping with whores and then he brings the disease back to his rib. I'm going to tell him the truth. Be like, yo, you can't do that. She got scabies, rabies, and herpes. Like, what are you thinking? You can't be the type of person in the world being black and know all we've been through and not have a goal or an orientation on where to go to know how to be a better person and lift your people up. We can't continue in this way. We can't continue in this way. There is no way on earth we can continue in this way without being further destroyed. And right now, I see that the propaganda is so great. When I look out, I'll see somebody that looks like something from Dexter's Laboratory with a fine sister that should have never even been talking to nothing like that. Or a brother with something that looks like some back hillbilly honey boo-boo from My 600-Pound Life, a brother with something like that, because he doesn't know that his people are supposed to be great. And he's with something from a trailer park that outweighs a linebacker and smells like raw, just vinegar and spoiled milk, because he can't see himself being with somebody that looks like or is the same ethnicity or race as his own mother. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we got to do better. Ace, let's keep reading.
I was on verse 8.
Verse 8, let's go.
You want me to start from the top or continue where I was?
Just continue where you was. If you could, just keep your finger there. That'll help you out, young man.
Colonel Khan. I will repent of the evil that I thought to do unto them.
Right. The Lord said if we turn back to him and follow his laws and statutes and commandments, if we stop sleeping with each other's wives, if we actually treat each other like we want to be treated, he will turn back and take away the punishments for the sins that we have been doing. That's what repent from the evil means. Continue.
Verse 9.
Verse 9.
And at what instant I shall speak concerning a nation.
Now, when he said, when he's saying at what instant, that means in the blink of the eye, overnight. The Lord could turn us away from being destroyed, because I don't know if y'all notice, we are being portrayed as the lowest thing on earth. Every Instagram comment, whether it's a real person or a bot, is saying that we are chimps, that we are watermelon felons, that we are the lowest form of life on earth. But the Lord can turn that in an instant. He can give the oppressor something that will keep us away from him for an eternity. Imagine an oppressor just covered from head to toe in lice. Ain't nobody going around that. Continue.
Khan.
Gosh, you look like you had something for a second. You was about to say something? All right, no sweat, no sweat.
And concerning a kingdom, to build it and to plant it.
Right. We have to be in the mindset in order for the Lord to give us something that he can have others. He can make the oppressor build it for us, like it says in the future. He can give us the mind to build up every single thing we need. There's a man out there that I've mentioned before named Moses West that is able to take a machine and it turns air into water. There is a black man out there that can take plastic and turn it into gasoline. Those are resources that we can use and we won't have to rely on the oppressor for. But right now, one of our curses is coming to the oppressor for everything. That's how they divide us too. A lot of us being unbrotherly and unsisterly is over this. It's over money. The evils of being in love with money. This is the brotherhood class, right? And I'm gonna get into what the clout demons and all that other stuff is. But Ace, let's keep reading. I hope you kept this time, man. You got me? All right, no sweat.
Verse 10. If it do evil in my sight, that it obey not my voice, then I will repent of the good wherewith I said would benefit them.
So, on the opposite hand, the Lord is going to keep those curses in place if we don't listen to him. Now, I know this is the law, but it's entailing what a brother actually is supposed to be doing. The reason why ISUPK is big on brotherhood is because we will literally take our time. Were you called out there?
All
right, no sweat. We will literally take our time and our resources to do everything in our power to get out the messages of what the Lord wants from our people, because right now Kirk Franklin isn't doing it. Right now, what's the man's name that was swallowing everything up? What's his name? No, not Kirk Franklin. TD Jakes. They're not real brothers. Right. They are selling you up the river. We're brothers. I'm willing to put on a crown. I'm willing to put on a garment. Be at the Sabbath service. I'm willing to get on the stage, and I'm saying but I'm talking about the ISUPK. We are willing to do what it takes as brothers to tell you, Black, Hispanic, and Native American people, what is the truth, even at the ridicule of it. Right. We got people from ages 12 to 100 telling us that we're fools and we're liars and this and that. But the brotherly thing to do is to take that on the chin and just keep doing what the Lord told us to do, because that's what we were sent for. Continue.
Verse 11. Now therefore go to speak to the men of Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, saying, Thus saith the Lord, behold, I frame evil against you.
Right.
And devise a device against you.
There are so many devices that are against us right now. It comes from, a lot of it is easy mind control through the internet. I know pretty soon. Let me see. Where am I going? Let me see. I want to go. Yeah, there's something I'm gonna touch on social media, and a lot of it we don't even realize how detrimental it is to brother and sisterhood, because we don't see that it is a device against us. The Lord can take it away. He can show it to us. The people that are actually in the spirit, they need to see this and they need to act on it. Let's go, Ace.
Return ye now every one from his evil way, and make your ways and doings good.
Right.
Verse 12. And they said, there is no hope, but we will walk after our own devices, and we will every one do the imagination of his evil heart.
That's where we at right now. Everybody is literally doing every despicable thing that they can at this very moment. We not being brothers and sisters right now. We are being dogs, slaves, and proxies of the devil right now. Let me pull something up on the screen. I want to show y'all. I don't know if y'all are familiar with it, but it's something called One Gotta Go. You ever heard of that? One Gotta Go. You'll probably recognize it once I put it on the screen and you see on your phone. But this is called One Gotta Go, and I think this is something that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans shouldn't even engage in. Let me see if I got the overlay for it. I do. All right. And I'm gonna read. It says the One Gotta Go social media game originated in black digital culture as a popular elimination meme. Yeah, we don't need to be eliminating anything great that we've ever done. We need to hold on to that because the oppressor is doing a good enough job erasing our history, erasing our greatness, tricking black men into becoming what looks to be predators, when really the biggest predator on earth is the so-called white man. They're great at hunting. They're great at kidnapping. They're great at tricking you out of your position. We have enough against us than to play silly games on the internet and say one gotta go. I completely disagree with that. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'll start with this. This is saying one gotta go in all their work. And we got Beyonce, Aaliyah, Rihanna, Brandy, Mary J. Blige, and Monica. None of these sisters need to go anywhere. Their voices are better than any other nation on earth. None of them should be going. All right, let me finish reading about One Gotta Go. It says the One Gotta Go social media game originated in black digital culture as a popular elimination meme. It gained widespread traction on Twitter and Instagram around the mid-2010s. I wouldn't be surprised if this was something like a psyop or something. It seems like black culture, but I wouldn't be surprised if this was a psyop, because this creates a divide and it creates something that seems simple, but it's something to the fact of creating that crab in a barrel mentality, like there can only be one, or all of us can't be great when there's room enough for all of us. The scriptures, Ace, if you could get it, let me get the salt of the earth scripture. Let me get Matthew 5:13. We are the salt of the earth, the entire earth, not just some of us. It says we, the black, the Hispanic, the Native American, we can all be great, especially in the eyes of the Lord. Things like this, they gotta go. You got these women and whatever they've done in their personal career. You got Vivica Fox, you got Nia Long, you got what's Damon Dash's cousin's name? Stacey Dash, you got Jada Pinkett. Yeah, they done some horrible things. But as far as actors or Salakia actresses, man, these sisters are top notch. And if somebody from another nation had half their flavor and salt, they would be considered the greatest thing on earth. I can remember the actresses' names that are heathens only because of how much promotion they got, but they're not as great as our sisters. Exactly. Well, what's let me think of a joint from back in the day. What was her name from I can't even think of it right now. It's a movie that y'all probably not gonna get it because I'm old. It was called True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger. His wife in the movie. I can't remember her name. One of these sisters could have played that role for an action hero better. Remember when when Vivica A. Fox was in Set It Off and she's crying at the bank, and that was an Emmy or whatever it is, whatever award, that was a Grammy award winning like performance. We don't need to let none of our Black accomplishments go. Right. We should hold celebrities accountable for their behavior off of the screen and on when they make us look bad. But we shouldn't say one got to go. Let me give you another one. Now, I know the brother's going to argue with me about the sports. Because you got, what's the dude with the big beard? He played for the, I think the Trailblazers for a while. I'll be messing up on sports because I haven't watched sports since 2003. He don't play defense.
I'm not sure.
Harden? Yes, James Harden, Allen Iverson. And then you got Chris Paul and I can't remember the other brother's name from the Thunder. What's his name? I'm showing I don't watch sports. Salakia.
You said
he played for the Thunder?
Kevin Durant?
No, the other one. He was kind of short.
Russell Westbrook?
Yes, Westbrook. None of these brothers got to go. None of them. We are the best at everything. Our intelligence. I just mentioned a brother that made plastic into gasoline, a brother that made a machine that can create thousands of gallons of water a day. We need to be brothers and sisters and go, hell no, none of us got to go. All of our people can be recognized. Every single boxer that was Black that ever graced the boxing ring needs to stay. We'll hold them accountable for their actions, but when they whoop oppressors behind in that ring, man, listen, we need to hold that and be like, we've been doing this since the turn of the century, man. None of them got to go. Let me see if I'm gonna read a little bit more. All right. I'm gonna send myself something real quick and see if I can get it on the screen, because I also talked about actresses, right? We got black. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find it. No sweat. Yeah, go. Ace, you can bring the mic to it a little bit.
That's a real dangerous thing. Like if we was to all be like in unison, like imagine how scary that would be. Like just Black men and Black women moving for the same accord. Like
absolutely. Like if we could get that in our minds to make sure that we didn't let nobody come in here with these silly games and these crab in a barrel, mentalities, we could single-handedly increase Black worth on television and sports and make people realize, like, you're not just going to treat us like anything on the internet. You're not just going to convince us. And I want to show this video real quick. Let me see if I could get it. Ace, if you could read Matthew 5:13 for me while I get this, because there's something that I meant to go ahead and convert for the video.
You said 13.
We're at Matthew 5:13. If you could, Baba Kasha.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 13. Ye are the salt of the earth.
One more time from the top. Salaki, I had you muted.
Gone. Ye are the salt of the earth.
Right.
But if the salt have lost his flavor, wherewith shall it be salted?
Man, listen, we are the salt of the earth. The only way that we can come together and be righteous under the Lord is to do what he says. But if we don't do that and we lose our flavor, what good are we to the Lord? What good are we to the Lord? If we play these silly games on the internet, or we play these silly games in life, and we treat each other like trash, and we treat everything in life like it's a competition, we can't build with each other. We're gonna be looking over our shoulders and feeling like we're the only Negro that can make it somewhere. Go ahead, absolutely. And while you talk, I'm gonna go ahead and convert that video so I can get it on the live
concert. And what's also heavy, what you just said, because we got to, because the Bible says either you're hot or you're cold,
right? And
the Lord, and if you're lukewarm, the Lord is going to spit you out.
Absolutely.
And you have to really think about that, because if you like food hot or cold,
right?
Anything lukewarm, it's not going to taste good,
man. Listen,
so you heavy. So I really appreciate what you just said right there, because a lot like that simple analogy can really change a person's mindset on how they serve the Most High.
Right.
You know what I mean? They can really put a fire in you to really pursue the Lord and follow his spirit.
Absolutely. Y'all heard what the brother said. Don't nobody want no warm ice cream. Don't nobody want no cold chicken. What the brother is saying is heavy. We need to realize that we're only good to each other when we come together under the Lord. Otherwise, we gonna be at some festival pretending that we being blackety black, this, that, and the fourth, black power, onks around our necks, looking like Wakanda, but gathering all races and calling it Race Unity Day when it should have been about us. When me and Azar War went to go scope out and get some interviews, it should have been about us. Nothing else. Go ahead, you got it.
Yeah, concert, and even when out there getting some interviews, asking all of our people, was it important for this to specifically be about us? It wasn't not one person who I got that thought that they should, or it should be anything specifically about black people. It's always us that has to let everybody into everything. It's
right.
Like we don't never get this. I haven't seen in my lifetime not one full black thing.
So Salakia, but you said when you were interviewing people said it should have been about us, right? Mm-hmm. So what does that tell you then? If you got the general populace that is saying that no, this should have just been about us, then how are there signs and inclusion for everybody else, or we're becoming second-class citizens at one of our events? How does that happen? Go ahead.
Salakia, I guess I would just say because of the power structure, you know what I mean? Like they seeking to get things done from people who don't want it to be done.
If I could, what you saying is heavy. That means our leaders have been selling us out at every single chance they get.
Sir.
Because when, and I can't wait till, we get that interview out with Azar War. When Azar War was asking that brother what he thought about something being just for us, that was the answer that we got. But Race Unity Day was the topic of discussion at the African American Heritage Festival. My niece is at a HBCU.
Right.
She got a black teacher. She was in African American history. That teacher said that black people are not oppressed. That teacher said that the so-called white man is not an oppressor. We are being miseducated by our teachers. We are being sold out by our politicians, right, because they don't want to be our brother. They want to be included in what Egypt is doing.
Right.
They want to be, when in Rome, do what the Romans do. We don't need to be on the internet doing things like this because the oppressor has plans to do it to us already. We don't need to be on the internet talking about one guy to go. They're going to get rid of us anyway. They're going to use us, get and squeeze the life out of us. What you do with a sweet fruit when you want the juice from it?
Squeeze.
And then what do you do with the rest of it? Squeeze. After you drink the juice, what do you do with what came from it? You throw it away. They're going to juice us for everything that's good, everything that they want, and the rest of us, they're just gonna throw it away like trash. They're gonna treat us like paper utensils, eat off of us, and just throw it in the trash. Well, let me show y'all a video. I'm gonna show y'all a video. It's the two members from a different world, Jasmine Guy, and I can't remember the dude that played Dwayne Wayne. I can't remember his real name, but Jasmine Guy is talking about how they put them against another popular TV show, and it actually caused their ratings to fall. So we don't got to do One Gotta Go. They gonna do it to us. We need to be in a position. If Tyler Perry was really a brother, he would stop that ridiculous that he's doing with a majority of his movies, and he would make a studio that put out black positive movies, right, black positive shows that showed men in a masculine authoritative image, and women, it would show them in all their glory, all their beauty, all their submissiveness, all their tenderness. It would show them in a way that a sister should be shown in, because women are one of the most powerful things on earth, the scriptures say, second to the word.
Right.
I'll have you know that there are women, and because they're a woman, they have got away with stuff with me in times past that a man would never get away from. Right. There are brothers that'll tell you straight up, if a man made me as mad as my woman did, that man wouldn't even be on this earth no more. Women, they're powerful. They can get away with a lot of stuff. They are powerful. Don't show no sister as no whore no longer in these movies. If you're don't show black men as drug dealers. That is if you got a position or a platform of power, do what you will. I'm Salaki. You had something you wanted to say?
Salaki, sir. I was just gonna ask, like, do he got any, like, at least one positive black movie or TV show?
I would say maybe, but a lot of it is just littered with stuff that we shouldn't be, shown as. You feel what I'm saying? Like it'll be like a healthy plethora of movies that he's made that it's like, damn, like you showing a black man as a scuzz bucket. But there might be some positive images, but it's just so much garbage. It's like, should I really even sift through this? But let me play this video with Jasmine Guy and the brother that plays Dwayne Wade. Which you already read what I wanted you to read.
Okay.
All right. If you could, since you're so eager, hold Proverbs 4:19 for me. Proverbs 4:19, young man, the water.
Why would you change our time slot? Mm-hmm. And why would you put us against Martin?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
The sister is asking, why would you change our time slot and put us against Martin Lawrence? Y'all know Martin Lawrence is one of the greatest shows of Black history. It is one of the greatest. Now, you ask the older generation, you ask our uncles and our aunts and our grandfathers, they might tell you something different. They might tell, well, what's the show? What's happening? They might tell you that. They might tell you Good Times, 227. But for us, me growing up, Martin was the most amazing thing. I remember getting in trouble in school, blurting out Martin's lines in class. I remember that. And you're going to put a show against that's a black show that had a different following. You're going to make black people choose against each other? Let's get back to it.
Why would you change our time slot? Mm-hmm. And why would you put us against Martin?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I definitely took that personally. You ain't got but 2 black shows on the networks and you put us at the same time against each other?
Mm-hmm.
And what have we done? What have we done to deserve this kind of disservice?
And why Charlemagne
we're not competing with Martin.
No.
We come on at 8:30, they come on at 8. Why did you move us? Mm-hmm. That was a detriment.
Was that because Cosby Show ended? And then they put y'all up at 8 because Cosby was the lead in?
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that could have been it.
Just playing white devil's advocate. Just put another 8 o'clock show in.
It probably wasn't nothing strong enough.
We weren't strong enough to hold another time slot.
Mm-hmm.
And not against Martin.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like we have the same audience.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so what do white people do? Divide.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
That sister's smart enough to know that they were used to be divided. They were used to divide the black viewership and destroy a show that was positive. I went back and started watching A Different World in recent times because when I was younger, there was no like on demand, like there was no streaming. So I would miss a lot of shows based off of what I was doing at the time, and certain times your parents might be tired of you jumping around the house, this, that, and the fourth when you're young. They sending you behind the bed. So I started going back and watching A Different World. Man, that's a great show, man. And there might be bits and pieces that could have been cut out, but it showed black people in college. It showed black people being smart and using their minds, not using their hands for mischief and evil. And the oppressor put that in another show that was great against it. So one more time, listen, don't do stuff like this. Don't do this. One has to go in all his work. Denzel, Morgan Freeman, Samuel L. Jackson, Eddie Murphy, Will Smith, Lawrence Fishburne, all their work can stay. They are great. I like Keanu Reeves and all and John Wick, but man, he ain't got nothing on none of these brothers. Arnold Schwarzenegger, great action hero, and he ain't got nothing on Will Smith. Nothing. All their work can stay. We don't have to be crabs in a barrel and decide. Gosh, I see them wheels turning. Go ahead. No sweat.
And I was talking to my Red, right? Because I'm not really familiar with like the TV shows from way back. I didn't grow up watching that. So you know that TV show with Queen Latifah,
Living Single.
Yeah,
I'm gonna play a clip from that.
Okay. So she told me that the Esau made a show after Living Single.
Right. Friends.
Yeah.
Friends.
Right. So I just want to say, like, they be biting all our hard work.
Yes.
And our stuff gets filtered out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
They think that these Edomites are like so funny and so, you know what I mean, but really it's a carbon copy of Living Single and Black American.
Right. And what Kaash is saying is so heavy. Let me go ahead and play the video. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna send it to let me see. Let me send it to, because I'll be having to send myself stuff so I can get it on live. Give me 1 second, y'all. The water for bearing with me. Let me see. I'm gonna try to airdrop it to myself. But what Kaash is saying is so heavy because if you think of all the great shows that could have stayed on and all the corny shows that are on TV. Hold on 1 second. I'm Salakia because it started playing before I could even get it. Let me just share the screen. All right, I'm gonna play it. So this is what Kaash was just talking about. He was talking about Living Single and Friends, and there was somebody that said they had, if they could have bought one show, would have been Living Single, but then he went and bought a different show and just created that, and then Living Single went off the air. And it showed Black people in a way that just wasn't just filth. I didn't see none of the brothers on the show dealing drugs. I didn't see none of the sisters wearing, dresses hiked up they behind. Like, it was very mild if it was something inappropriate, because I watched the show when I was younger than my son. Like, I make jokes all the time, outside of classes, and for a lot of my sense of humor comes from the shows that we watched. So I was young enough to watch it. But I digress. Let me go ahead and play this real quick. Let me add this to the stage. Let me play this real quick.
I know that Warren Littlefield, who was the president of NBC at the time, was asked if there was any show you wish you had bought this season, what would it have been? And it would have been Living Single.
It was asked, what show, any show, do you know how many shows were out while Living Single was out? Somebody Google how many shows were out in the 90s during when Living Single was out. And he named that one show with that platform, with that friend dynamic, with them in one place and this, that, and the fourth. He named that one show.
That's the legend, at least what I've heard. Yeah. That he said, I wish I bought Living Single. And the next year
he did Friends.
Friends was on NBC. So, and we had the same production company. So it's Warner Brothers.
Friends is the unseasoned version of Living Single. And I've watched Friends like a couple of times for a few minutes, and I just still don't understand how it was successful, because if you put if you put 6 Black actors in those same roles, it's not like, that's not talent what they're doing. Exactly. Black people can't get away with that. But let me continue.
One was on Fox, one was on NBC.
So we kind of think he saw Living Single and was like,
there was a formula.
Oh, we don't think we know. I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, and it wouldn't be the first time people see something and then say, if I just do this here, I'll be just as successful, and even more so.
Yeah.
Because look at how they're going to support that and market it and promote it. Totally different from what
the most purest form. You find I cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
You find a template or you find a formula, and the formula worked.
Yeah.
And I don't think the formula had been, maybe you could say Golden Girls because it was 4 women, but 4 women, 2 men. In their case, they had 3 and 3, and the formula worked. And so, boom. Here's the story I know. I know that.
Our shows are the greatest. We don't need anybody in our community eliminating our shows because the oppressor is going to try to do that regardless of what we do. We have the greatest comedians on earth. Yeah, the oppressor is funny. I've heard oppressor say some funny stuff. I can't really think of anything right now, but I hear it. I've seen some oppressors do some great acting work. But man, do y'all remember when Will Smith was in that scene on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and he was upset about his father never being there for him? If anybody can go back and find that clip, just watch it. And that delivery, that vibe, that feeling that he gave, everything that he pulled from his life's experience, he put in his role, just like all the other actors that are black, that are classically trained, but they don't get the recognition. Let's start supporting our people. And another thing actors got to do is stop being ready to be rewarded by the oppressor for their talents. Let's be brothers and sisters and hold our own things. BET, we don't need to do that because that's not owned by us.
Right.
White people get upset all the time about how come there's a black entertainment television. But if we called it white entertainment television, everything's white entertainment television. The Black Entertainment Television Network is owned by a white person, just like Tubi. We don't have anything. Tyler Perry, what are you doing? You chasing, I'm not going to, allegedly he's out there more focused on chasing man butt and not building his people up. You chasing man tail, you're not even building your people up. Goodness, somebody said black religion is a Nigerian scam. That's funny as hell. All right, I'm gonna start reading some of the comments and we'll get back in it. We got Fool to Wise said, I call Martin the last great sitcom. I agree. There's not anything that comes to mind that didn't transpire towards after the 90s. And there were sitcoms that people never heard of. It was a show called, I believe it was called Up All Night with Patti LaBelle and Morris Chestnut that I would watch sometimes when I couldn't sleep when I was a kid. And that was a pretty good show. It was about a nightclub. Like, we need to realize that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the salt of the earth. And if we can just be a little bit more brotherly, a little bit more sisterly, we will be all the more better. Young man, what you holding for?
I got Proverbs.
Let's hear it. All right.
Proverbs.
And I just want to preface this. You know what I'm saying? This is why we give you the scriptures as the brothers that we are. Like, and I even know the sisters, they're teaching the young ones, and they'll even tell a sister, like, no, sis, you shouldn't do this because of this, that, and the fourth. I hear conversations with my rib, talking to the younger sisters on what they should do sometimes. Shout out to Izara because I hear her doing what's right. But go ahead, young man.
15, right?
Proverbs 4:19. You had it that long, you still ain't got it. Good night. I'm messing with you. Go ahead.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 19. The way of the wicked is as darkness. They know not at what they stumble.
Right.
Verse 20.
So the way of the wicked is like being in the dark and reaching around and not knowing where you're going. That's what we're following. You see that brothers and sisters have turned away from their own people, and we following what? The Epstein class? We following people that are allegedly drinking blood, eating babies, eating people. Human trafficking, that's what we're following? How much darker can it get? We have a president that is not even qualified to be a shift supervisor at a fast food restaurant. And that's what we follow. We don't see that we should turn away and realize that this is not our final resting place, and that I don't care if this place goes to hell so long as my people aren't in it when it does. But we want to hold on to what we think could be when this place was never intended for that. This place was not started with Christianity. It was not started with the great red, white, and blue hope of freedom, because when it said, let freedom ring, black people were slaves. When the country was created, the land was being stolen, and there was treason being committed by John Hancock, the first person to sign, what was that, the Declaration of Independence? What did John Hancock sign first? Salakia. I'm a little mixed up on white history every so often. Somebody look it up for me if you could. We'll get back to it. But go ahead, Ace. Keep reading if you could.
Verse 20. My son, attend to my words. Incline thy ear unto my savings. Verse 21. Let them not depart from thine eyes. Keep them in the midst of thine heart. Verse 22. For they are life unto those that find them.
We are trying to tell our brothers and our sisters what is going to bring the life back into them. Because all of this stuff that's being told is death. I'm going to get into it because people like Lil Wayne are not being, they haven't been brothers. And then they surround themselves with people that aren't brothers. Y'all see Adrian Broner as somebody that's coming back into, the limelight. Mm-hmm. He didn't have people around him to help him from falling the first time. I see Adrian Broner, he got, a whole bunch of gray hair. Adrian Broner, and there's nothing wrong with gray hair because even I got it. But Adrian Broner should still be in that ring whooping ASS. But instead, he's in the club drinking his liver out. Till this day. Go ahead.
It's a lot, sir. And because like you get so many thousands of people in the comments telling him clean himself up, but you also get people that promoting it.
Right.
So now he might have a thought about cleaning himself up, but because it's people who don't care that he out there doing whatever, now it's gonna prolong it again. Like I ain't gonna lie, it's a lot yet, but Dean, the streamer he's with, he actually be trying to keep him like from drinking too much. But it's like if you see your brother got a drinking problem, you might want to like try to make sure he's not like drinking too much at all, because it's kind of like a gray area.
Yeah, you don't like somebody. If you could find that scripture that says, "Don't be a stumbling block." Not you, young man Ace. If somebody could find that scripture, because what you bringing out is heavy. If Adrian Broner has a drinking problem, y'all shouldn't even be drinking around him. Y'all should be be even more of a brother. Be Ace. What are you doing? Don't know. Keep where you at, please. Keep reading. Salakia. You found it?
My phone's there.
Oh, no sweat, no sweat. Whenever y'all find it, we'll go ahead and read it, because that's what being a brother is. Don't be a stumbling block. I got brothers that don't want to drink right now. I'm not going to shove the IPA in their face like, nah, you gonna drink with me. I'm not doing that.
Right.
I got brothers that decided not to drink for a little while for whatever reason, because they feel like it's getting in the way of accomplishments.
Right.
I'm not going to be their stumbling block. And if they don't want to drink and they come to my crib, I'm not drinking in front of them. Go ahead, Kaash, if you could.
I got Romans chapter 14 and verse 13. Therefore, let us not pass judgment on one another any longer, but rather decide never to put a stumbling block or hindrance in the way of a brother.
Right. That's brotherhood. That's brotherhood. If you know that a brother shouldn't be doing something, even if it's lawful, just don't do it in front of them. Don't take them around it. We gotta have, like, with brotherhood comes responsibility. There's a responsibility. It's just not living life, with this, flying by the seat of your pants. That's not what living life is as a man. Men have to have responsibility. Everything should be in decency and order. We have to be brotherly enough to know, like, all right, I'm not going to do this around him because I don't want him getting mixed up in it, because he's not going to be able to handle drinking. I'm not going to do this. Or you see a brother slipping, you pull him to the side. Hey, when we was out the other day, and I'm saying after, because talking to a man, while he's extremely intoxicated, is talking to a man that's not even really there. You talking to some people, they can be out their mind. But you can go, hey, man, you tripping. And they'll go, oh, I'm tripping. Let me chill. But some people, you can't do that. So approach it with seasoning, with salt. Wait till the brother is good. Wait till he's sober. Maybe even after the hangover. Hey, let me holler at you for a second. Yeah, when we was out, you was extra aggressive with the ladies. You was doing, you know, this, that, and the fourth with the bouncers. Like we gonna have to tone down. I can't go drinking with you if this is the behavior you're gonna be doing. Like even if it's a brother in the truth, like you a priest, you got to carry yourself better. You done knocked over stuff all in our section. You done you know, fell on top of one of the shorties at the club. Like let the brother know, be a brother. Don't just let it pass and never tell. Like I love when I get correction from one of the brothers, especially the men above me. Like I remember when I was in high school, and one of my older friends, he like 2 years older than me. He pulled me to the side and was like, "Yo, man, you got to stop doing this, that, and the fourth. Like you're bugging. Like you're tripping. That's a friend. Like a friend should be able to tell you. Like you want your friend to not tell you. Like if you might not be so fresh in the breath. You want your friend to pull you to the side and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna gargle a little bit." Dumb Salakia. But go ahead.
Salakia, sir. And that's like the scripture that say a faithful friend is a strong defense.
Damn right.
Or like, you know, a brother is born for adversity. Like,
right. That's brotherhood. Kash, you wanted to say something?
Con, I was gonna make a reference when you're talking about drinking, because I know when I was in the world, man, and you have a friend that gets sloppy drunk. That is the most embarrassing sight ever. It is so embarrassing. You look so weak and goofy, and then you become the joke of the night. They don't even remember like how fun it was. They just know you stumped.
Man, let me tell you this, and I'm not gonna say the person's name, but I remember being in college, and one of my friends, he got so drunk, and I told him afterwards, and this is before I'm in the truth. This is like early 2000s. Brother got so drunk that he ran into the hallway, and somebody else had to run. Somebody that was big, because the brother, he taller than me, he's bigger than me, he outweighs me. I'm trying to get a hold of him, like, yo, you can't be running through the hall. Like we in college, like we're not even supposed to be drinking. This is a dry campus. Like you're bugging. Like dude almost falls down the steps. Somebody has to pick him up because he's too drunk to even walk back now after he did that sprint. Put him over his shoulders. Somebody bigger and stronger than him puts him on the couch. The brother gets so drunk that he throws up while he's asleep sitting up. So me being a friend and a brother, I gotta peel his damn shirt off of him and throw it in the washer. I gotta like all the other all the other stuff that he threw up. And when he woke up, I'm like, yo, bro, like you really threw up all on my man's couch. This is a college campus. This and you gotta be strong enough and a brother enough to not let things like that pass or just overreact to it. I waited till the brother was not, and this is before I'm in the truth. And I wish that there were brothers that could be a brother to me like I was to them outside of the truth, but you may not get that. You're gonna have to understand that. This ISUPK, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, is where you can find brotherhood. And if you don't find it in a situation, you best believe you can take a brother to counsel and gain that brother back. And then you will have it. Ace, what was we holding?
Verse 22.
Anybody else wanted to say something before Ace continues? All right, no sweat.
You want me to start?
Salakia, what was you holding for me?
Proverbs chapter 4, verse 22.
All right, let's hear it.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 22. For they are life unto those that find them, and health unto all their flesh.
Man, we are trying to resurrect the spirit of our brothers in this world. Even though it's costing us time, sleep, we make ourselves fools for Christ and the Most High because we're actually brothers. I'm not going to give you a whole talking game about something that's not going to help you. I'm not going to tell you to invest in this and do this and this and this before telling you that the Lord can actually get you out of your condition. Investments is cool. Man, have the scriptures first. Keep reading, son.
Verse 22. For they are life, Slakia. Verse 23. Keep thy heart with all diligence.
Right.
For out of it are the issues of life.
Man, out of it are the issues of life. And I just wanted y'all to hear what we are bringing every single Saturday, Lord willing and weather permit. We out there. All right. I ain't gonna be too much longer. Let me get if I could, let me get Colossians 3:13. And I'm gonna play something for y'all real quick.
Slocky, you said 3:13.
If you could, Baba
Got it.
I'm gonna have to send this to, while you find that.
I got it.
You got it already?
Come.
All right, let's hear it.
The book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 13. Forbearing one another and forgiving one another.
What does forbearing mean?
Like, Slocky, does it mean like kind of like dealing like with them, kind of?
Yes. It means that sometimes you're gonna have to tolerate attitudes. You're gonna have to deal with, inconsistencies with brothers' behavior. Like, why is brother doing this? And you're gonna have to tolerate behavior until that brother blooms into where he should be. Like, a lot of people say, you know what, that brother toxic. I ain't dealing with him no more. A lot of people say, I'm cutting the stuff that ain't positive out of my life. If you don't ever forbear and be a brother and tell that brother what he's doing wrong, how can they get it? Some people just don't know. We grow up in different households. We're gonna have different outlooks. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I get sir, and it's so heavy that you say that. Like, we be wondering why nothing work out, and we giving up on each other so easy.
Right.
You know what I mean? And brother be like made one mistake, and brothers be willing to be like, I'm through.
You know how many times I've forgiven friends in the world, like, that have done some outlandish stuff.
Right.
The scriptures say 70 times 7. You're gonna have to forbear. You had more on that?
Just on what you just said, like, so like, yeah, I just be thinking about myself. Like, look, what if I was this brother? You know what I mean? If I was exactly in his shoes,
right,
I would want somebody to be understanding. At least, you ain't gotta forgive me, but at least be a little understanding. You know what I mean? So at least I be wanting to relay that same love. You know what I mean? And it's definitely hard for a lot of brothers and sisters because they upbringing.
Damn right. And that's brotherhood, because do unto others as you want done unto you. I would want somebody to have a little bit of leniency with me, because I've been absent-minded in the past and in the present.
Right.
And I want brothers to be able to go, yo, Q, Quahal, like, you did this, that, and the fourth. What, like, why you do that? Yo, Salakia, if I offended you, I apologize. Right. Salakia. I want brothers to have that with me, because I could be absent-minded sometimes, and I might do something, not with malice, but it might be something that I'm not even realizing, or a brother's not even realizing. Let's take times with our brothers. How many times we going to forgive the oppressor? Can't we be brothers to each other? How many times have we given the oppressor? We've been forgiving the oppressor for 400 years. All they got to do now is hit the Dougie. They can come to the barbecue. If an oppressor can crip walk, man, listen. They're gonna be your son's godfather, your firstborn's godfather, if they can crip walk. We can't have enough decency with each other. Go ahead.
Hey, Salakia, that's so heavy that you said that too, because I was watching this Instagram video like the other day, and it was like a big group of Indians, and they was rapping. And basically, I looked through the comments, and everybody saying, these are the new YNs. And it's like, yo, anybody could be a YN nowadays. Anybody could be a YN.
My knees hurt too much to be a YN.
And it's like, I don't even think that's I don't think it's a good name overall.
Right.
But at least at a point in time, it was only a specific people being called YNs.
Right,
now
right.
It's like anybody, you do anything dumb, you a YN. You do anything ignorant, you're a YN. You go do any kind of crime and you're doing YN stuff. So they made that label universal.
No, they did. And even you got oppressors using it,
right,
to dishonor our young brothers that don't got the right between them damn shoulders. And it just goes to show you that the oppressor will absolutely do everything in their power to destroy us and make fun of us for being destroyed when they're successful at destroying us. Shouldn't we be brothers enough to try to continue to lift our people out of our condition? Can't we at least do that? What's so hard about y'all gathering with us? And let me check the time. We good. Gathering with us, doing what's right, and getting it on in these streets to do what we're supposed to be doing. All right. Ace, if you could, from the top.
Kind of the one come. The book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 13. Forbearing one another and forgiving one another.
Right.
If any man have a quarrel against any, even as Christ have forgave you, so also do ye.
Wasn't that what we was just talking about? We was ahead of the scriptures with it. That's what we were just talking about. That's brotherhood.
Right.
How can we build? Your mic is good. How can we build without having that type of mentality, without that type of spirit? That's the spirit of Christ. Let's read.
Verse 14. And above all these things, put on charity, which is the bond of perfectness.
Right.
Verse 15. And let the peace of God rule in your hearts, to the which also ye are called in one body.
This is being a brother, being one body. Not a break off group. Not a Christian with a ridiculous amount of denominations. Because y'all can't even agree in Christianity.
Right.
Y'all will pretend to agree when y'all come against us. But I've seen interviews where it's two different Christians and they kind of looking out the side of their eyes when the other Christian says something that they don't agree with. But that demon inside of them is being held off at just having a hate for us being Israelites. Let's go, Ace, read.
Verse 14.
The water.
Or Slacky, not verse 14, verse 15. And verse 16. Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly, in all wisdom, teaching and Slacky, what's that word?
I'm not there with you. What's it start with?
A.
Admonish?
Yeah. Admonishing.
Right.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. That's the word I wanted to touch on, because admonishing is what we were talking about earlier. That's when you let a brother know. That's when, if I keep doing something that's outlandish, Kash is going to go, hey, man, Salakia, I don't want you did this, but that's contrary to what the scriptures say. Like, I see you keep flirting with Edomites, but that's unbecoming of a priest, sir. I don't understand why you would do that. He wouldn't just look at him and go, sure. Kash is going to tell me, because that brother is going to admonish me for what I'm doing. Let's go.
From admonishing?
Yes.
Admonishing one another in the psalms and hymns and spiritual songs.
According to the Lord. You're going to admonish a brother according to what the oracles of the Lord are saying. Not something that's just in the world. Like, yeah, don't be snitching. That's foolishness. I've heard brothers say, and this is Cameron. I'm maybe his position changed, but Cameron was saying something to the effect of, if there was a serial killer in this building, he's not calling the cops. We have rules that don't make any sense for black people. Yes, we have rules. Like, you might have to get law enforcement involved in certain situations. If Jeffrey Dahmer lives in 113 and you live in 110, you might want to call 911. Stop snitching.
It's like this, sir.
Go ahead.
And black people is so ignorant, man. They'll really say that, man. I ain't calling the cops.
That's why the scriptures is saying admonish in the hymns,
right?
In the scriptures, not under the understanding of men. Ace, we got a little bit of more on that, because I want to switch gears real quick before we end.
I'm gonna just hit it from the top.
Which part? 16?
Yeah.
No sweat.
Verse 16. Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly in all wisdom, teaching and admonishing one another in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing with grace in your hearts to the Lord.
Most High in Christ. All right, now let me play something for y'all real quick, because we get ready to end it, because I got just a little bit more left. All right. Now, we talked about Adrian Broner. For y'all who don't know, Adrian Broner is a former boxer that was a 4-time world champion. And let's see what Adrian Broner is saying.
You asked him. Just give me my money. I'm gonna tell you, ain't no more money.
Where'd it go at?
And I want to point out that Adrian Broner had friends around him, but nobody told him or admonished them on the right things to do according to the Lord, because they don't know any better. We do. We real brothers. If I was there, or if another brother was there, we would have told him. And he would have been in less trouble and a better man for it.
Shit go like, all right, let me get 100,000. Let me get 50,000. Then it's like, all right, we're going to give you 1,000 a day, 1,500 a day. It went from 2,500 a day, 2,000 a day, 1,500 a day, 1,300
What you mean? You only getting that each day hitting your account?
Yeah.
So they're not giving it to you all, but they talking about, oh, how the fuck did that happen? How does that happen?
It was my fault. That's why I don't point no fingers. It's my fault, because if anything hit my account, I would have to spend it that night, because if I didn't in the morning, the government was taking it, or my lawsuits, you know, they garnishing my wages and all that shit.
Damn.
So everything that I was getting sent would have to get spent that day. Then it went down to 1,000 a day.
2,500 a day is crazy. 2,500 a day is insane. Like that's what 17, that's like 17,000, almost 18,000 a week. That's what that is. This brother was in a position to do great things. Brick and mortar he could have built for his people, but it was spent on nothing. There was not enough brotherhood for him to know what to do with it, because we crabs in a barrel. There was nobody around him to keep him out of trouble, to where he would be in a situation to where he had to hurry up and spend his money before the government or lawsuits took it. I'm gonna continue.
1,200 a day, 750 a day.
I mean, but
500 a day.
You able to live off that?
250 a day. Once it got to 250 a day,
$250. You fucking kidding me?
$250 a day.
How was you able to take care of?
I'm a hustler. But then when you
now, let me read something for y'all real quick. Let me read something. Adrian Broner had to deal with lawsuits. He had to deal with the government. But I'm gonna read real quick. The lawsuits that Adrian Broner had to deal with was a Cleveland nightclub sexual assault, which I'm not sure what happened with that case, but that was $830,000 in a judgment. Brothers in here tell you what to do and what not to do to be in that situation. Las Vegas assault, a $4 million judgment. Cincinnati bowling alley incident was another judgment. Adrian Broner was involved in a lot of stuff that brothers should have admonished him about and told him about, but he had a whole bunch of yes men that weren't really brothers around him. All right. And we live in a time, like I said, where nobody wants to have responsibility for themselves or their friends. I'm going to go to another one. Let me play this for you. Give me 1 second. Because being somebody famous and in the public eye, you have a responsibility as a black man. Everybody sees you. But let me see if I can send this to us real quick. All right, bear with me. I'm going to play it right off the rip. And young man, you can hold whatever you got. All right, let me go ahead and play this. We're going to get into something.
Am I a good role model? You know, am I a good example for people on how to live their lives?
She asked him, does he think that he's a good, does he think to himself, is he a good role model that people are looking at? And just to sum up what she said, do you think you're a good role model? Has he even had that concept in his mind? Look at the, I'm sorry. I hate when women get mad for accountability and they call men sassy, but this was sassy. This was sassy.
I'm an example for people on how to live their lives, and never in my life would I ever set out to be an example for people on how to live their lives. If you need an example for how to live, then you just shouldn't have been born.
If you need an example on how to live, then you shouldn't have been born. That is the dumbest SHIT that I've heard in a while. And this is old, but re-listening to this is just pure stupidness. Role models and the people that come before you are what you look at, no matter what. When I was younger, or when people are younger looking at me, we're looking at each other because somebody is older and they're doing stuff before you, and your eyes are on them to see which way you should go. But this fool is saying that nobody should have a role model. He's saying he's not a role model. No, he's not being a brother. Millions of eyes are on him. Hundreds of millions of eyes are on him. Kids are looking at what Lil Wayne is doing. but he don't think he's a role model. He don't think he should slow up on the drugs. He don't think he should slow up on the stupid behavior on camera. He's not a real brother. Because anybody, like, we got people that are famous in their own right in here. Commanding General Yohana does the right thing. The generals, they do the right thing. The captains, they do the right thing because we know that men are looking at us. Hold it. We know men are looking at us.
Straight up. And I am a great role model because I'm only a role model for 2. And that's all. So don't you worry about yours.
He said he's only a great role model for 2, but how would he feel if his kids look to somebody and they're setting a bad example?
And let them worry about theirs. I got mine.
Do everything.
The TV is raising kids. Music is raising kids. What does he think is going on? He's being used as a tool by our oppressor for destruction, but he's not a brother enough to do the right thing. And let me get into what Lil Wayne had going on. All right, give me 1 second. Let me see if I can share this real quick, because he said he's not a role model, but he's eyes is on this man. Let me go ahead and play this.
When people drink alcohol, they react like they've been drinking alcohol. So whatever the hell was in my cup, the only reaction I did was got more popular, more successful, did a lot more things that I've ever done, picked up a guitar, learned how to play it, learned how to put on the auto-tunes and stretch my voice, and became #1 in the country with everything I've ever done.
He's talking about sipping lean. Lil Wayne explain. It says Lil Wayne explains lean. It helped make him successful. He doesn't think the artists that want to be rich after him are going to drink cough syrup and die.
I probably should pick that cup back up.
I'm
just trying to make people understand.
I should probably pick drugs back up and be an addict. Y'all see what Lil Wayne looks like now? He looks like a damn zombie with his dreads falling out. Let me show you the results of Lil Wayne. Let me read something for y'all. All right, give me 1 second. These are the people that took after Lil Wayne and they passed afterwards. All right. Mac Miller, he's an oppressor, but he looked up to Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne don't discriminate on who's his brother. He should have been a better brother. Juice WRLD, he died of an overdose, just like Mac Miller. Lil Peep, never heard of him, died of an accidental overdose. Fredro Santana died of a seizure related to a fatal overdose. Big Scar, never heard of him. Accidental overdose of prescription medication. He's not a role model. He couldn't have helped these people beforehand and say, hey, man, you know what? Me doing drugs was wrong. Lil Wayne had seizures. Now the people that look up to him are having seizures. He's not a brother. Let me go ahead and play this before we end it.
Mac Miller.
He's talking about Mac Miller in this.
First of all, rest peacefully, bro. Remember doing the song with you. The question back then, that was the name of the song.
This idiot is doing a eulogy in a skate park, in an indoor skate park. He's talking about somebody who he influenced that died when he could have influenced them while they were still alive, and he could have been a role model. I saw interviews with Mac Miller talking about how he looked up to Lil Wayne. He couldn't have been a better brother to the people that looked up to him. That's why we say we are the home of the truth. I'm gonna play a little bit more.
I remember back then, you wasn't as known as you are now.
Man, shut the hell up.
And as you will be forever.
What is he talking?
I remember hearing your voice and hearing you spit. And I remember knowing back then that
Maybe he should have helped Mac Miller and told him that before he drank drugs and swallowed pills until he died. Let me see. Young man Ace, if you could, let me get Ezekiel 3:18. All right. And the title of this was Clout Demons. I might have to have a class too, because we're running up on time. But Clout Demons are people who are willing while being in the public eye to do all the dumbest things in the world for money and looks and likes, instead of doing the right thing and being a brother. You got people out here that do these dumb ass pranks. Don't even tell the people that they're joking. And then they're convincing other kids are like, oh, shoot, he's popular. He got 1 million views. Let me do the same dumb thing. Behind the scenes, these people are getting arrested. They're getting assaulted. They're not telling the young generation nothing positive because they're not real brothers. You got Ephesians, Salaki, what you got? Ezekiel 3 and 18?
Kind of long time.
Let's hear it.
All right, go on. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 3, verse 18. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and now givest him
One
not.
more time from the top, if you could, Baba Kashan.
Kind of long gone. Verse 18. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity.
So I'm gonna go ahead, Salakia, go ahead.
Iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand.
So what is that saying? You know what that's saying?
Con.
What's it saying?
Anybody who's wicked or is not following his laws, statutes, commandments, she's gonna kill them without warning. Like not even
read it again one more time from the top, if you could.
When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and givest him not warning.
Givest him not warning. So the Lord, and I'll explain it to you because I know it's in Old English. The Lord is saying through these scriptures, if you commit sin, you're going to die. If you don't warn the people, their blood is going to be on your hands. I'm gonna require, because you're supposed to be telling them the right thing to do. Mac Miller's blood is on Lil Wayne's hands. I know he's an oppressor, but he could have told him the right thing to do. That's what a brother would have done. Let's go to the next verse.
Verse 19. Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul.
Now, how is that different?
Like he helped, delivered it, he helped them, but they still didn't follow, right? Or something.
So here's what happened in this one.
Gone.
He told that man what to do. That was right, even though he was sinning. He admonished him. That man died in his sin, but that doesn't fall on him because he told him the right thing to do. Be a brother. Be a brother. There's brothers that I told to do the right thing. They didn't listen and they died. They died. They're gone. True story. True story. They're gone. All you can do is tell them the right thing to do. Be a brother until there's no more left. All right. If I could, let me get, should I read this? No, I'm gonna have to hold this for next time. So lock it. Let me see. Matter of fact, let me get Acts 23 and 6.
Come on. You said 23 and 9?
23 and 6.
Gone.
All right, and hold that for me. I'm gonna play this real quick. All right, this is Kirk Franklin. This is Kirk Franklin. If he was really a brother, he'd be up in here. He wouldn't be confused. He wouldn't be arguing with Christians like other Christians, like the Sadducees and the Pharisees did when they were, gonna, destroy Paul. He would be in here. He wouldn't be out with a wife beater looking zesty with his arms out. He would be letting black people know not to commit certain sins and die in their sins. All right? But he's not a brother. Now, both men are wrong because you got the one brother that says he's a Christian and he's saying if you don't repent, you and your wife is going to hell. He's clout chasing. He's a clout demon. And he's going against another clout demon who is doing a lot of stuff for money, which is Kirk Franklin. I'm gonna show a little bit of it, and we'll get into it with the scripture, and then we out. Now, Kirk Franklin is offering the foolishness, the same pacifying tactics that somebody would do when we speak it on the street. Do you love me? Do you love God? Give me a hug. We should love everybody. This, that, and the fourth. He doesn't know how to handle the situation because somebody is confronting him about what they think, even though the dude's clout chasing, they're confronting him. And the brother in the wheelchair, I don't know what he has to do with it. I'll find out later.
You need to repent from your sins. You need to repent. You need to repent. You and your wife are going to go to hell. You and your wife are going to go to hell. Yes. You and your wife are going to go to hell.
Yeah, he's bugging. He's a clout demon. All right, Ace, go ahead, read that for me so we can get ready to get up out of here.
Slakia, it was
let me see.
Acts 23.
Acts 23 and 6.
Kind of the one on Acts 23 and 6.
All right.
I got it.
All right. And I'll say this. There are multiple denominations. There are multiple beliefs in Christianity. Globally, there are 45,000 Christian denominations. All right. There's 45,000 Christian denominations. That's why there's confusion in the Christian church. That's why you got all these arguing. They're not really brotherly. We're supposed to be one body. Let's read it.
The book of Acts, verse 23, verse 6. But when Paul perceived that the one part were Sadducees,
Sadducees. I'll just read this real quick. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna read that for you. I need you to get a different scripture so we can be on good with time. Let me see.
What scripture is it?
Give me 1 second.
Trying to walk on.
It's I believe it's verse. Let me see. Salakia. Ephesians. Let me get Ephesians 12 and 4. I believe it's Ephesians 12 and 4. Or Salakia. Ephesians, Salakia. I might not have it. I have chapter 12 and 4, but I didn't write down the correct one. But this is the problem, because they're not on the same belief. Acts 23, 6 through 8. I'm gonna read that real quick. But when Paul perceived that one of the part were Sadducees and the other part were Pharisees, that's what we see in today's time. You got the Sadducees and Pharisees that don't believe in the same thing. And the other Pharisees, he cried out in the council. Paul was in a situation where he had to turn them against each other. And this is just showing a little bit of, even back then, the body was separate because we were not being brothers. We were divided. Ace, pull up Luke 7 and 8. Because some people might say, yeah, you got it, if you can get it. Yeah. Luke 7 and 18. Yes, hopefully it's what we need and not what we don't need. Luke 7 and 18. Because some people might say, well, you said there's 45,000 Christian denominations. Well, what about the different Israelite groups? The original Israelite group is ISUPK under commanding General Yohana. And before the break off, there was only one. Let's read. We saw that even back then. So we know that it was even happening back then with breakoffs. Let's read it.
Luke 7 and 18, right?
Yes.
The book of Luke, chapter 7, verse 18. And the disciples of John shewed him of all these things. Verse 19. And John calling unto him 2 of his disciples sent them to Jesus.
2 of whose disciples? Whose disciples are those?
Jesus.
No, reread it again.
John's.
Yes. Why does John have disciples? Because he wasn't being a real brother.
So he was clout chasing.
He was in a pretty much a break-off group, and he should have stopped what he was doing with his ministry as soon as crisis came. Go ahead.
So he was clout chasing, correct?
Not clout chasing. but he wasn't being a brother and ready to do what he was supposed to be doing. That was the problem. And we have that today. Be a brother. Come up in the ISUPK. If you got a problem with what we're doing, meet us. Tell us. Be a brother. Everything to All right, no sweat. All right. Let me see. Do I want to play one more? No, I think we All right. So with that, I appreciate y'all tuning in tonight's class. Brothers and sisters, shalom. We'll have a Wednesday class, a Thursday class, and stay tuned for that. Until next time, we'll see y'all then.